now with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles, and we're back in force now. I am Jolt, chief host of the show, and joining me is none other than my co-host, Avira.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Next up, good to have you again. And next up is Fesagash.
Fashtoga. Ugh. But
I-
yeah, I'm just basically your silly little fluffy fox.
I know. I mean, you should seriously start charging people on how to pronounce your name properly to get rich.
I shall start charging you with your godforsaken life.
Fucking hell, at this stage, you might get an armband out of me. Fuck.
Well, no one
That'd
can
be
pronounce
nice.
my name either. They're always like Aviaria. Oh yeah,
Eviaria?
it's weird. Well, that or other weird variations.
You know, Evira with the A is silent for like with like ether.
Exactly. But
Anyways,
I don't know.
next.
Anyways,
I know. And last of all, joining us on this panel is Malagos.
Hey,
How you been? How you doing?
doing fine. What about you?
Oh yeah.
I'm
Doing great.
Ish.
Yeah. So, yeah, just to preface this, now we have a new platform, a new service to which to do our streams in. Now that since the short notice scramble last week after Google terminated its Hangout service, so this will be our home for the foreseeable future, and as you know, works just fine. And if you do have any problems, just bring it up to us if something definitely goes wrong.
Right. Let's do it.
All right. So, well, where do we begin now? Let's live up to the namesake of our episode, shall we? How video games are literally a buzz.
Yeah.
A 20-year-old argument.
That has been
yeah.
debunked
It seems like
hundreds and thousands of times.
Seems
I
like the
know.
witch hunt has been going on for a second wave now. Again, they're blaming shootings on, what do you know it, violent video games. Wow, that
No,
must be the
video
reason,
games,
right?
no Fortnite.
Fortnite.
They're Yeah, me playing Nintendogs makes me want to murder people.
And yeah, all kinds of things though. But namely, the first example is that violent video games have now been pulled off the shelves. Well, courtesy of Walmart. Walmart instructs employees to remove science displays of shooter games on PS4 and Xbox One.
Now,
Okay.
what do you think is the motive behind this? Like, do they really think this is going to do anything?
No, they're
I
fooling
think the
themselves.
reason why they're blaming video games is to try and hide the mistakes that they have done as politicians, to try and take the attention away.
The mistake is blaming the games to begin with. I mean, this is
Yeah.
not... That's like when people blamed Marilyn Manson for the Columbine shootings because they happened to be fans of his music. I mean, it's just so ridiculous.
And they also blame Doom for, the shooting.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, they're blaming the wrong thing.
It's one thing to blame all the games and say it's all responsible. Ooh, you play this, you're literally gonna become a future criminal, future mass shooter.
There's
But
been
yeah, what
shootings before video games were a thing.
what Walmart is doing is just basically this is straight up virtue signaling.
I
Pretty
mean,
much.
there's no connection at all between playing, video games with guns in them and people that actually go out and want to kill people. That just doesn't... That's not real.
Yeah, there's none. And look at this though.
This is
What we're looking at is the guide that Walmart has posted to remove signs and displays referencing violence.
Oh my goodness.
Like, okay, yeah,
No, if
checklist
you
of
are
things.
going to get rid of stuff that's supposed to remove, violence, they have to do the same with MMA. They have to do it with an awful lot of other things that have violence in them other than video games,
Oh
movies,
god,
music,
that's a
and awful other stuff.
This
a
is
lot of
just
yeah.
so pathetic. They just want to coddle the population. And what it's like? Look at what some of the things they want you to do. Turn off hunting season videos
Yeah,
that may
turn
be
off or
playing in
unplug.
sporting
Yeah.
goods. I mean, what the hell is this?
Yeah, turn off or unplug any video game display consoles that show a demo of violent games, specifically PlayStation and Xbox units. Hello, we found a loophole. We found,
Oh, we did?
yeah,
Oh,
Nintendo is the loophole.
yeah, of
Not
course.
even
Yeah.
5 minutes into the video, and we already found a loophole.
Oh, Lou.
Contact the Emergency Operations Center for assistance. What?
Emergency Operations Center.
It's an emergency, guys. Quick, unplug it.
No,
What,
you
you-
played a game that's gonna
Why you so weak?
hurt somebody.
Cord? No, are they like
Get some
they
help
can't pull out
now!
the cord? They need to get someone else to do it.
Oh my god, this is just so sad. You know, I don't even. I feel like we live in a weird timeline where I don't even have words for this. I really like this is just so weird to me. And do you
Yeah,
think it's going to be permanent?
I
No.
certainly hope not.
That this is like some new law, or it's just gonna, maybe for the next like month or so.
No. Because I can tell you what's gonna happen. This is just gonna last for maybe like a few weeks or so. There's gonna be a lot of counter arguments, and they're just gonna forget it until the next shooting comes, and they're gonna do the same argument all over again. It's the same argument with gun control. It's the same argument with the video games. Like it always just the news always bumps up, and then like a few weeks later it just dies down, and then
Yeah,
If I was a developer at one of these companies for one of the games, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, oh, excuse me, Walmart, we're paying you a crap ton of money for our
to
advertisements
advertise.
and to sell our games, and now you're doing this to us because you're blaming our games on some wacko who decides to shoot some people up? That's
Yeah.
really not fair at all.
It's fucking ridiculous because if they're going to blame violent video games and all this stupid wumbo jumbo, they have to do the same with anything else that involves violence. But they're not going to do that.
and hey, we can also blame violent music, like let's say death metal music. We can also blame action movies and stuff. It's like
Yeah,
Keanu Reeves is too violent.
it's like they've also wanted this display thing also extends to violent movies being shown on the electronics department. Like,
Oh, it does now.
yeah,
Oh
They're
my
away with the
God.
fairies. That's what they are. They're away with the fairies.
They must think so little of people's own mental stability that they think that doing this is, we got it now. Now we're
Especially
gonna
in a
stop
country
those
like
crazy
America
people.
where healthcare is shit.
No, but like, just think about how little they must think about people in general, how unstable and if we hide them from these images, they won't go crazy.
Yes, they
they
will.
haven't heard of the Streisand effect.
Oh God, this is just so saddening.
I know.
Censorship doesn't work.
It's not that. It's like they're trying to protect people from becoming, from these corrupting images.
No, you can't
No.
do that. That's
No.
retarded.
Not possible.
Like, now, that's the thing though. And if you do, you're gonna have to get yourself out of Walmart and freaking go look for violent video games or electronics in Best Buy. Like,
Yeah, or Target or something.
you know what ironic is, my dad is like 60 now, and he still plays Call of Duty. Like,
And he hasn't become a mass shooter yet.
And he
Good
has
job.
Nope. Nope.
No, my dad, he plays Forza Sport. He's going to become a fucking juggernaut with a minigun. He's going to gun down everyone.
Because that's realistic. Oh, you know what's kind of spooky actually? My dad plays Call of Duty too, like a lot.
Oh my goodness! Wow,
Yeah, no,
you
he
guys.
does though. every day he gets home from work. Okay, so I used to have a PlayStation 3, but I don't anymore because he played it more than I do, and I kind of just gave up on it, and now he put it in his room, and that's all he plays.
Too great.
Dude,
It's-
your dad is pretty cool. I'm not gonna
uh,
lie.
yeah, he's cool. I mean, it's not cool that he took my PlayStation, but
Yeah, I know.
but
Yeah, like
that's all right.
no, like my dad, he loves shooters and he loves games that let you drive, like Forza Sport. But he thinks this whole argument is retarded, in his own words, not mine.
Mm.
I mean, yeah. I think if your folks were able to upgrade consoles at some point, they should honestly go get the new Call of Duty because there's so much salt in that game alone. Like that's
Yeah,
coming out this year.
like that's a topic for another day. But Jesus Christ,
I know. It's something that's on the cards though, and it's like I want to go buy. It's one of those things that makes me go, I want to buy Call of Duty now.
yeah,
The entire point of this is this: we've just proven that this argument is also invalid because we also have given proof that our parents also play violent video games, and yet look at them.
sure. There's I
Okay,
forget this like 90-year-old granny. She loves to play violent video games, and she especially loves Grand Theft Auto.
it's fun. It's therapeutic to take out your anger on digital characters than it is to
Yeah.
actually go out and attack people. And that's, I mean, I've seen like a lot of studies on this, and there is like no connection at all between
No,
people who play these games and stuff. And it's like, okay, so my favorite game is Spyro, but that doesn't mean that I want to set sheep on fire. As
no.
as fun as that would be. Um, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
And like one of my favorite games was Crash Bandicoot. That doesn't mean I'm going to throw fucking Wumpa fruits at everyone.
Or you
Right?
want to jump, or you want to spontaneously try jumping on people's head to squash them flat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially. I'm not going to run around the place dodging boulders while I'm fucking spinning like a hurricane and sending it flying off into the
I
sunset.
imagine if you played a lot of Legend of Zelda, you'd go to like the Walmart section where they sell vases and stuff, and you'd start breaking all the vases. So
Oh
you
yeah.
Or you
Looking
go
for
to a
gems and
farm and start
hearts.
killing
Yeah.
all the chickens.
That's what's up.
I mean, maybe if you're like extremely mentally unstable.
Yeah.
Not even that
Those,
though. I mean, it's just
And
it's
I
that's
don't
one
know.
of
just
those
like the
cases that are
problem.
just few and far in between.
I guess they have to blame something and someone, and they don't want to say, oh, the most
Shit
recent mass
can't.
shooters were crazy leftists with ridiculous ideologies. No, no, they don't want to say that, even though
No.
they were. They want to say, oh, well, it's got to be the games. It's
Yeah.
it. We did it.
It's got to
That's
And
what it
now
be.
is.
it's yeah, it's just it's basically bringing back an era of all this time again. Like we used to, remember when we used to freaking spurg out of violent video games like in the early 2000s or in the late 90s.
I
I think
know.
I
Yeah.
think that was late '90s.
Yeah.
Well,
First, it
that's what I
was
was saying before. Yeah.
That was fun.
actually the first it was the I think it was back when we didn't have a rating system. There was like games like Mortal Kombat and was it that other Sega CD game? Like parents were complaining that the kids were that the games were being too violent, and and the game and video game industry was about to be crushed until the ESRB ratings were introduced.
Yeah.
All right, but let's be real though. I mean, do parents really care about gaming rating systems? If a
Not
12-year-old wants to buy
No.
Grand Theft Auto,
not today, no,
I
but
mean,
I
come
think
on.
back in the not today, no, but back in the day, I think they were being more overprotective about video games than today. I mean, these days, even you just give a kid Call of Duty and like
Yeah.
that's
And then
And like
yep.
I mean, I played GTA when I was like 13, and I just remember like beating
That's what's
hookers and robbing people and all that crazy stuff. But I didn't
yeah,
turn into a criminal.
like I played GTA 5 when I was 13, like you said, but I wanted to try it out because I thought it was very interesting, and I liked how you could make a shit ton of money Like,
That's exactly right. Like, but just come on, that's not how it works in the real world. Come on, they gotta
No.
know this.
Yeah.
Anyway, couple
It's
of
just
little.
such a boomer thing to say, you
It
know.
is.
Oh,
It
it's
is.
gotta be the video games, all the bad
You
stuff.
know, for everything that these boomers like say about video games and all that, the things that they can't understand, there's only like 4 words you can describe it. Shut the fuck up, boomer.
Actually, yeah, just give him a
Yeah,
Monster Energy drink. That's the white Monster Energy drinks. Just
yeah,
Malagos,
Yeah,
I think that's 5 words.
yeah, that's
Uh,
5 words.
yeah, but still, the idea is there. So
Yeah.
let's kind of push through live comments. Inu just asked, "How about if the Google non-console pulls GTA 5 from their servers? What now?"
Oh, Google
Remember?
Stadia.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's not a console, but yeah, it's not a problem because people still have their consoles, so no problem.
Well,
No
what's
effect
gonna
on
happen
anything.
is they're gonna lose a lot of money.
Yeah, they already did. Like, remember?
and that's
Oh, yeah,
another
yeah.
good point by Mr. Okami. What happens if the violent video games are banned and crime and mass shootings are still happening? Who will they blame next?
Oops.
Yep.
And also, like, well, like, what level of are they talking about? I mean, is Fortnite violent? Technically, yeah. Is it
Yeah,
realistic?
but it's not
Absolutely
graphically
not.
violent.
I mean, still though, the concept is there, right? Oh, it's still violent. It's you know, it just
Like,
gets
yeah,
to
the
a
game
certain
itself
point
is
of
violent, but not
lunacy.
graphically violent. There's no blood or anything of the sort.
Ah, whatever. I mean,
It's
who
ridiculous.
cares?
It's one of those things though. But I think while we can still stay on the topic of of the game, the gaming world, a lot of things have also been happening as well. Most definitely, and some not so some great, some not so.
Yeah.
But here's a case
Like,
of when developers have gone too far.
mm,
I'll show you
yeah,
guys.
Fallout 76, for
No, no,
example.
not that, not that, not
I
that.
know,
Here
I
you go.
know. But I'm just
Oh,
saying.
I know what he means.
Yes.
I know
Yeah,
it's not what we're talking about.
Borderlands
Yeah,
3
this.
boycotted by fans following Take-Two investigation into leaks. YouTuber visited by private investigators.
Now, I can't say I know an awful lot about this
But
stuff, so you're
it's
going to have
just
to break it down.
right. So, it, I mean, in a sense, it all kind of started when there were a couple more leaks were discovered via YouTube, and then I think it's also a case. This story is a bit of a mess because it might just be a case of they got the wrong guy, but ultimately what happened is that Take Two eventually did find out about the leaks about the game, and then instead, so they sent the YouTuber like 7 DMCA notices to take it down. 6 of them were dismissed, and 1 of them stuck, and that kind of got his account wiped. And that pretty much just kind of goes to show, in simple words, Take Two pretty much intimidated this guy from streaming.
this is
Yeah,
some Italian mafia level shit.
European Union style stuff.
Yeah, and
But
it
yeah,
like
it's
it
just
doesn't
a
stop
fucking
there.
ghetto.
It doesn't stop there though, considering that they also sent private investigators to his place about why he leaked it.
Yeah, as I said before, this is some Italian mafia level shit.
Mm,
Could we just clarify exactly why the fans want to boycott the game, though? 'Cause I'm not really
Be-
sure I totally understand.
because it's Epic Games exclusive.
That's one thing though, because Randy Pitchford decided to sign with Epic Games for one instead of posting it onto Steam and other digital PC shop
Now,
fronts.
I'm not a PC gamer, but is it true that Epic Games you have to have Wi-Fi no matter what?
I think so. Yeah.
Because I don't use Steam or anything of that sort. Unfortunately, I'm a console scrub. But yeah,
I mean,
Yep.
the upside is to this Epic Games thing is that sales for console versions of Borderlands 3 might just shoot up. Like it did with Metro Exodus. People bought it for PS4 and Xbox One in a way, to spite Epic Games for doing this because they can't get it on Steam.
The
Yeah.
PC sales for Metro Exodus flopped.
Yes, but the console sales really surged.
Yeah, obviously.
But in a sense, though, now that was one of the reasons why Borderlands 3 has indeed left a sour taste on the gamers' mouths because Epic and not Steam.
More
And
sour than milk out its bathwater.
and the second reason why the boycott Borderlands 3 thing is trending is also because, like you said, Take-Two went too far with the Italian mafia tactics.
Wow. That's really
So
upsetting. It's like they really just don't care about the fans, do they? I imagine if you follow the money, like this decision, there's some sketchy stuff going on.
this is
Yeah.
this is typical Epic stuff. What they do, is, from what I heard, is when you sign an Epic exclusive deal, not only do you have to release your game on their store and only on their store, no other store, but they also cover your sale goal. So, for instance, if you need like 200,000 or something like 100,000 copies to be sold in order to be successful, they'll cover you that. Even if you don't reach that number, they'll cover the rest of it. On like the only deal is you have to sign the Epic Games exclusive. That's why so many devs actually actually do it, and that's why they feel so overconfident that they don't care about the fans anymore. They even go out of their way to even insult them.
Greed. Greed can only get you so far. As an old saying would go here, you can't take more out of a bag than it can carry.
Oh, that is so sneaky, though. I mean, yeah, it's a really enticing technique for developers who like really do want to sell their game, to the best that they possibly can. And hell, if they get covered, even if they don't sell it, I guess. I mean, that's probably why a lot of people go there.
No, actually, the thing is, Epic is trying to create its own community by doing these exclusive things and all, and they think like they will drive people away from Steam and go and win them into Epic if they actually lock some of the more popular games into it, like Shenmue 3, MechWarrior 5,
Yeah.
Ooblets, all these games that are going to be released on Epic Games.
Oh, yeah, and speaking of Ooblets, though, holy frick, look at what Ooblets has done to literally get a firestorm raging.
Now, Ooblets is a perfect example of how a game dev uh, behaves after Epic gives them the exclusive deal. They're covered. They're already covered, and they actually they don't even need to sell the game well anymore. So
As long as
they can
that.
yeah, so they can just insult the fans. They don't even care if they lose like 50% of sales from that because they're already covered.
Yeah,
And
because the 10-cent pesos literally are gonna serve them for a long, long time. No, it's not. And you know what Ooblets also did is that once they signed for Epic, they also just fuck gamers for.
yeah, exactly. I mean, this is what every dev has done that so far. They're simply they simply became ignorant, and they even became insulting towards the fans. And what's the interesting thing about the Ooblets dev is once they insulted all of the fans
Yeah.
that supported them on Kickstarter, because Ooblets was at the beginning, it was the Kickstarter campaign, and once they insulted all of their backers and their backers insulted them back, then they actually started pulling the victim card, as saying as they were being harassed, they were sent death threats, and they were like, you know, other stuff.
It's all that typical nonsense.
Well, the problem I'm seeing here is it really does not offer incentive to make good games that people actually want to buy.
Yeah,
No,
and Woobless is basically Exhibit A of this because if you read what they've actually said, look at how woke they've said. They said that you should probably talk about climate change, human rights abuses, blah blah blah. It's like semi-satirically. Lead
No,
Twitter
Wow.
desktop UI. That's a legit complaint. The last season of Game of Thrones. That's also a legit complaint.
human rights abuses are the jobs of
Yeah. So
high
they're basically,
politicians.
you know what? They're basically the poster child for get woke, go broke.
Yeah, but for
Yep.
most of these games that actually went on Epic, people actually have the right to be mad about them because for Shenmue 3, for Ooblets, for MechWarrior 5, these were all kickstarted and these were all funded exclusively by the fans. And what the devs did is they sold these fans off by saying, "Hey, you're not gonna get the Steam copy that you were promised for. You're going to have to use Epic." And we all
Yeah.
know like why people don't like using
And
Epic.
yeah, the dev literally just said this is basically the epitome of entitlement from toxic entitled gamers TM.
Toxicity is good, don't you know?
And it's funny thing is like Epic is trying to build their community with these exclusive deals that they don't even care about their store anymore. I actually like a few days ago I've heard that they delayed all of the important updates because if you actually go to Epic Store, it has like comparing to Steam, it has very few features, and
Ah, yeah.
all the necessary features were delayed by a month because Epic isn't giving enough money to actually developing their store, and it's giving more money to the marketing.
It's just a bad, case of priorities where you're at. But
Get your
again,
priorities straight.
the same thing as well. Like they actually had to scrape through the bottom of the barrel in terms of game developers as well, considering the dev of Ooblets has literally said things like, if anything, you guys make me want to rip into gamers more.
And it's a funny thing is because there's also like a post. I heard someone actually, I think it was on Reddit I've seen. Um, there is actually a guy who lives in Malaysia, and he kickstarted the Ooblets. He gave them $20 for and $20 in Malaysia is like a lot because of how how poor the country is. And he basically gave his savings to Ooblets because he really liked Ooblets, and it reminded him of his wife who died or something like that. I don't know. His wife liked
Oh,
his wife liked to play Animal Crossing, and Ooblets reminded him a lot about Animal Crossing, and he wanted to relieve those memories again. So he gave his hard-earned money to the devs. Now, what the problem was, the devs actually went to the Epic Games Store. Here is the major problem of it. Epic Games Store does not support Malaysian currency. In fact, he has to pay it with the normal currency, like
The US dollar.
and the US dollar currency, which is a lot more expensive.
Yeah,
And
I've had a calculation. $20 is equal to 83 Malaysian ringgits.
I think I'm not sure why, but I think I'm not sure if I've heard the part correctly, but I think he's also unable to play the game because it's region locked or something. Basically, Malaysia does not support Epic Games for some reason, and he basically asked the devs if there is some way that he is able to play because he still wants to play them. He'll still install the Epic Game Store nevertheless, and he wants to play it. The dev basically responded his usual response the that he's being too entitled to the game.
are you kidding me? No. You see, if I was in that guy's shoes, like the developer, and people were giving me free money to develop my project, I would be really thankful and try to accommodate as many, financial backers as possible. You're too entitled. What a dick.
Too entitled
Yeah,
says the perfect.
basically, the dev responded something like, you're not entitled to receive the game or something like that. I don't know.
Wow.
Despite the fact that he gave him 83 fucking ringgits, which is a lot in Malaysia.
It's a total cluster all throughout though. Just that Ooblets, Borderlands, and Epic in general. But hey,
It's fucking
I
weird.
mean it does speak of the current state of video games at the moment.
Yeah, like, come on, have some fucking decency for once in your
At
goddamn
least
sake.
freaking care about your core constituents, the people you are developing the game for.
Because if you don't, you're going to lose money.
Precisely.
It's actually funny because Epic Games is the first thing that Tim Sweeney has said that is that Epic Games is a lot more dev friendly, a lot more customer friendly than Steam because they take less. Um, they take only 12% cut from the devs, while Steam takes like 30%, and something like they support regional prices and stuff. Even though that's hugely a lie because regional pricing does not exist in Epic Games Store. If you live in India or in Russia, you have to pay in euros or in dollars because they don't support their own currency there, while Steam does. So
Well, that's
Yeah,
not.
it's a big change now. Now that Steam has regional pricing, GOG does too. But hey, matter for another time.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
Like,
So
going titled arguments, that's just going to cause a fucking firestorm.
it did. It's because of these. It caused a firestorm to the Ooblets dev. A lot of people were upset, and the way Ooblets dev responded was he claimed that he was being a victim and that he was being attacked and all that, and then Tim Sweeney, of course, came out from the tweet and said, "Oh yeah, that's correct. We support you and all that."
Hopefully, this
all
is
right,
just
yeah.
how
So
not to.
yeah, just to kind of move to the next item at the on the tap. But before we do that, there is something pretty cool as well that's been making the rounds. Just as is because there's a lot of Tooney basically brought up. Has anybody seen the new Pokemon? And that's kind of been bringing up, making the rounds, like even for for literally everybody else, because it's become a meme of sorts, and you'll never guess who it resembles.
I think I know what you're talking about.
What new Pokemon?
There's a Pokemon called Obstagoon, and he's basically Gene Simmons, the Pokemon.
Oh yeah, yeah,
What?
I saw this.
He looks like a
What the
mixture
heck?
of a badger and Gene Simmons.
I was thinking he looks like
Yes.
a were-badger.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like a mixture of badger and Gene Simmons. That's cool.
It is. You have to admit it. That is actually pretty nice design.
And you know what?
It-
Even Gene Simmons himself actually likes the Pokemon.
Can you blame him?
right?
I mean, he's got the aesthetic down pat.
He's got the colors. He's got the looks.
And he's basically got the
crazy
sharp
tongue.
tats.
And what types is he?
Probably normal.
Oh, he's probably a metal. What if he's like a metal type?
Metal, yeah, that's so
Deal, yeah.
metal.
Dark metal?
It would be. It would really be poetic if it were the case.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, but I like it though. I mean, it goes to no surprise that you know who else is going to be all over the case with that new Pokemon,
Who?
the furries.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Well,
Don't.
well, I mean,
get started.
definitely.
Want to go crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, there are special kind of furries who who are more Pokemon like.
yeah.
Yeah, they're more like they're into anthropomorphic and all that, but
But
they're not like
the Pokemon thing is another thing as well. But that's also there's also been another as well, a Pikachu knockoff of another like Pikachu type that they introduce every single generation.
Right.
And it's another Pokemon
So
theme.
we had Pikachu, we had Raichu, we had Pichu.
Oh, every single time they introduce, these little Pikachu kind of knockoffs, like Generation 4, they introduced Pachirisu, Gen 5, Emolga, Gen
And yet,
6.
and yet, Ash's Pikachu never evolved.
Yeah.
Well,
And now they're
I think
introducing
he
a Pokemon
was.
called Morpeko.
Oh my god.
And it's
Because
basically, apparently, the Pokemon is hungry.
Oh,
hungry.
dear.
I mean, yeah, say what you will, but I think people all over are going to have a field day of this new Pokemon.
Hmm.
It's always hungry, so it's not Snorlax, but
This
what?
this is gonna be interesting with this
It
new
is, it
Pokemon.
is.
Because especially this is the first mainstream. Like this isn't like the, Pokemon Arena and for N64. What was it called? Like what this isn't like a spin-off game for the mainstream console. This is like a real Pokemon game, not on a portable console, but on a real console. Actually, it's sweet, which is Switch.
It is. And I'll actually show you guys what the little thing is kind of about at the moment, though.
Right.
Here you go, more Pico. A Pikachu, but not unlike any Pikachu.
Okay, I do not like that.
I do not like that. Why
It
does
looks
he
like a
No.
mixture. It looks like a mixture of Gengar and Pikachu.
demon?
Well, no, the darker one, like the purple and gray, that looks better. But the one on the left, it kind of looks like Pikachu's retarded cousin from like Alabama.
Actually, no.
And then
You
there's
want me to freaking if you want me to break the internet where we gotta get mass reported, I can actually do it right now.
Okay, no, he does though. He's like, "Hi, Pikachu." Like I could just see him say that with his dopey little derpy face.
By the way, what is the ability that the new ability they have in
Hunger Switch is
no,
based.
that something like Gigatronics or something where the Pokemon change, right?
Dynamax.
Oh yeah, that
Oh
one.
god, that's basic. Oh god, please no. Pokemon how basically go oversized, and it's nothing but a dream day for macro enthusiasts.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
I mean, maybe it's a dream for kaiju fans.
Mhm.
It's a dream for Vor fans, anyways.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much that for the Pokemon. I know we'd love them though, and I'm gonna.
To be honest, I liked Cario before
Yep.
it was considered cool. So
Yeah.
checkmate.
Nice. So we've got the next item on the show, and you'll never guess who's back in the business again. Who's gonna keep going at this?
Disney?
It Disney.
Oh, our wonderful corporate overlords, Disney. How great.
They
Whatever
want to
possible
remake
is now.
the Great Mouse Detective as a live action.
No, why?
Oh.
That's what they're doing. They're just making it
Wait,
again.
wait. One question: does Disney own Secret of Nymph?
I don't think so.
Oh, good.
I do not want that. That would basically, if a live action of Secret of Nim were to be introduced, it would be nightmare fuel for the kiddies.
Oh my god.
The Great Mouse Detective. I mean, out of all of the classic. Actually, no. You know what? They're running out of ideas.
They're just ruining their classics. Like they're like just wait, and they're gonna release Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs live action.
I'm surprised they didn't do that yet.
Bambi live action.
Do it.
We already got Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, and
I mean, Beauty and the Beast was somewhat okay. I just think the Beast didn't look as threatening, but
I just think
the
that
music
they have
was
to
not-
get more original ideas and stop rehashing their old storylines just for the sake of cash grabs.
Of course.
Oh my god, they are making Bambi live action remake
They are?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
in 2021.
What?
Oh,
okay, but how do you guys think the Secret of Nim, not Secret of Nim, no, the Great Mouse
The-
Detective is going to work as live action? Are they going to be
It's
like,
gonna have like a freaking like Stuart Little, the aesthetic of Stuart
That's
Little.
yeah, they're
no,
basically Stuart Little, but he's a detective. That's all they're doing.
this is weird. Can you?
No,
Do you
like
even want to? Is that even considered a live action at this point? If it's like
Stuart
literally
Little?
just CGI mice?
It is live action. I mean,
I mean,
say what you
if
will,
they
but
trained, if they could really train mice to like hold a little magnifying glass, that would be pretty cool.
say what you
well,
will about Stuart
live
Little,
action
but I wasn't.
Robin Hood. I expect them to do it with an actual fox and not a
Oh,
person.
okay.
No, no. If they want to do this right, I think they're too scared if they actually try getting fursuits.
That could work. I
No,
prefer
but they
that.
will ruin. No, but they'll ruin classics like Bambi and.
No, think about it. What if they do a live action remake of Tarzan?
Oh, don't give them any
Um,
ideas.
Because I don't think they're going to be authentic with it because they don't want to.
didn't they do it with
Wait,
the with George in the
Oh, the
Jungle?
Jungle Book.
No,
oh,
George in the Jungle.
that's
Or the Jungle Book.
yeah. Wasn't Brendan Fraser in that?
I forget the name of the actors.
I
There's a new
think.
one on
I
Netflix
don't
as
know.
well.
So, but what's the reaction looking like with this the Mouse Detective one? Like, are
I
people
think some
excited for
people are
this?
becoming sick of Disney trying to to live action everything. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but there's also word that Disney's just doing this to renew their copyrights. They're trying to live action it just to hold on to their properties
Dude,
as well.
The problem with the live action remakes is that when it has animals, like for example in The Lion King, you couldn't tell their emotions.
Oh, I know.
And
and
that's
That's upsetting.
and
problem.
that's actually important because Lion King has one of the saddest scenes in like
Disney.
cinematography.
Yeah, it's got
Is-
sad scenes, epic scenes. You know,
Happy.
Nala's fuck me eyes. It's got everything.
How do you? I mean, how do you top off when Mufasa when Scar was holding Mufasa on the cliff and said "Long live the king" and
True.
threw him off the cliff. It's like, how do you top that off in a live action movie? You can't.
No, you don't. I mean, so I was thinking, like if they were to remake something like Robin Hood with the fox, what they should do is use that toony style used in Zootopia, not try to make it look hyper realistic. That would
You know,
work
at
better.
least
Utopia,
proper 3D
animation
CG.
in
Not
Zootopia was more authentic because like they didn't make it super realistic. It was more toony, but they like still got attention to detail. You know, with the fur and all that.
Right, but Lion King was like like they made it hyper realistic, and the problem is they couldn't do all of those crazy things that actually happened in the animation that made it like really memorable.
Yeah.
Okay. Be thankful they're not making a live action remake of Robin Hood in the '90s because they'd use those sock puppet, animatronics.
Oh,
oh,
that would be so
Uh,
bad.
huh.
Like if you ever watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and they use those animatronics
hmm
where they move their mouths.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah,
oh no,
that was scary.
that was very
Yeah.
creepy.
no. But then again, that could definitely there's definitely a lot of movies for Disney to freaking ruin.
I
But
think
There is.
yeah,
I think Disney what it's trying to do is they're trying to you know well of course they're trying to earn more money, but in a sense a way that they're trying to uh, basically use their older franchise in a way that
yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They're holding on to it to kind of again renew their copyrights, hold on to it, but
That
they're going about it the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would actually explain it, Joel. Why they're doing it, because they want to keep the copyrights and they want to keep the copyright to themselves. Because
Exactly.
if they haven't done like an Aladdin movie in like 50 years or 40 years or something, then their copyright license expires and it becomes an open market for
Intellectual
other.
properties. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Wait,
those things
really?
last for 70 years
Oh,
usually.
wait.
yeah.
70 years?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then Disney doesn't own Snow White anymore.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Now I
Yeah.
can make
That
it
w-
into Star Wars Snow White.
Oh,
no.
oh god.
Oh, don't
Any
know.
any Disney crossover, just no, not at least we don't need to keep
No,
them
I'd rather make my
continuing
own
in
Star
Actually,
Wars
their
guys,
current
movies.
state.
you're seeing a trend where Disney is slowly trying to kill off the franchise. They're trying to kill off all the Disney classics. They're trying
Yeah,
to kill off Star Wars.
they
They will
they
try to
are
kill.
killing off Star Wars, especially look when you Galaxy's Edge is basically a deserted section of their theme park.
They will also try to kill off Marvel as well, with like every year superhero movies and stuff. They have their own plan. If you've seen some of the pictures, they have their own plan of of what they're gonna release in like the next 2 years or so. Oh yeah, and they're trying to compete with Netflix by releasing Disney Plus.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
now
I'm not getting that. No one's getting Disney Plus.
no, but you look at them now. In their current state, their stock price is plummeting. Galaxy's Edge is basically a flop. And in the current state, Star Wars, like people have literally been burnt out of it because of how much they're milking it.
But and it's not just the whole milking the whole thing. It's just like the way that they're trying to interject their agenda. Which, by the way, in like I'm gonna say like maybe a decade or so, it's gonna be old news. It's not like no one's gonna care about identity politics or all this feminist bullshit that they're trying to throw in there. It's not gonna age well. It's really not.
Yeah, it's like in the '90s when toilet humor was popular, and like 20 years later you see like the same shows where they do all the fart jokes and stuff, and you just can't help but cringe. But
Well, I
back
yeah.
20 years ago, that was funny. Actually, that was popular.
There's a lot of trends. I mean, even like just go back to like the hippies and stuff in the 60s and 70s. I mean, that was a totally different social atmosphere. And then we kind of got over that. But of course, movies at the time reflected that kind of culture. That's why there's so many trippy drug movies that came out at the time. But now, you can't really do that. I think in like 20 years, people are going to look back at what they did to Star Wars and be like, wow, that is a product of its time for sure.
And look
This
at where it basically rose and fall.
Yeah, and the problem is, at least the original Star Wars, it is timeless, because it doesn't rely on modern day politics. Yeah, of course, there's like references to things like World War II and, the Empire's basically Nazis. But at the end of the day, you know, it's not pushing a type of agenda. It's just a fun
did
space
you
opera.
did you guys remember when the director of Star Wars said that the First Order were white supremacists? And it was like a deleted tweet, like the tweet, it was deleted, but basically he tried to push the entire agenda. Star Wars was saying the First Order was a white nationalist movement,
Well,
and then
that's
like they said, yeah, but what about Finn? Like Finn is black. And then after he realized what he said, he deleted the tweet.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with the whole Star Wars universe, it's not about race for the Empire, but it is about humans. So basically, they're speciesist. Everyone who has power in the Empire is a human, and they prefer humans, like on Coruscant and stuff. And that's pretty much who runs the galaxy. And the Empire kind of views non-human races or species as like beneath them.
Oh,
That's what
that
it's
kind of
about.
reminds me. That kind of reminds me when I played the Knights of the Old Republic. Like there was the you visit one of the planets where it was controlled by Sith, and the Sith were like extremely xenophobic towards aliens. Like they'd basically up to the
Yeah,
point where they'd segregate them, and
that's
and
right.
only keep the humans up on the upper level, but they keep all the aliens down at the lower level.
Yep.
Yeah,
And that's why when the Empire became a thing, when the Sith took over and stuff, that's how it happened.
Hmm.
It's not about, oh, well, only white people. Like, no, it's not. It's only white men in the Empire are good. Like, that's not what's supposed to be. That's stupid. That's why, they're trying to change the lore and all that crap and make it, like, politically relevant and all that bullshit. It's ridiculous. Disney does not know what they're doing.
There's a couple of funny things as well. Like Tony was saying, I remember they called Darth Vader racist for being black.
What?
Wait, Darth Vader. He was played by a white man. I mean, like the
Did they
got
mean the uniform or like the
Probably,
suit that he wears?
probably was, but but Darth Vader is voiced by, yeah.
Okay, so what's more racist, having Darth Vader have a black suit or have all the stormtroopers have white suits? I'm getting a little
Wait a
confused
minute.
here.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The voice actor for Darth Vader was James Earl Jones, and he's black.
Yeah. No, Darth Vader wasn't racist. He just didn't like the Jedi and stuff.
Uh, yeah, I'd say yeah, in a sense that he didn't like Jedi stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
don't.
also say a couple other
weird.
things as well. Star Wars Legends is not canon, so basically more and more people are turning on Disney now. But all the
Well,
stuff that they've been doing.
the way they say is, from what I understand, is that Star Wars Legends are basically what the title says. They're just legends.
Right.
They're not canon. They're just stories that that are like
Uh-huh.
legends, like fictional stories and stuff.
That's
And funny thing is, they're making a Nice Steel Republic TV show.
Oh, I don't think they can literally milk Star Wars out any more than that. Some stage it's gonna
It is
crash. Yeah,
it is
but
true. Okay, go on. Sorry.
yeah, it is true. Like you get it. Like they're making a crap ton of Star Wars stuff, new movies, new whatever it is, and now the theme park Galaxy's Edge. But at the rate they're going, Star Wars is gonna burn really hard.
As I've said in the previous stream, no, the key thing with Star Wars was always the toys,
Mm.
and I can tell you that nobody's buying the new Star Wars toys.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
There's all kinds of YouTube videos about this. People going into like toy stores, and the shelves are just packed with Ray dolls and BB-8 stuff and all this nonsense. No one cares.
Surprisingly, all the Luke Skywalker, the young model Luke Skywalker, action figures are all sold out, but nobody's just buying the new Star Wars figurines, the Ray figurines.
Remember, yeah, the old Star Wars is timeless.
Exactly. Yeah.
It has that pulling power. It has that recognition.
Yeah, that's kind of imagine Disney is trying to sell action figurines of, the new Lion King. Do you think that do you think the kids are gonna buy the new Lion King action
Nah, they're gonna buy
figurine?
old Simba, like the
Yeah.
classic
Yeah.
Simba.
I mean, because basically they're not even identifiable characters anymore. They just look like legit animals. You can like see at a zoo. Like,
Hmm.
there's nothing unique about them at all.
Yeah, they've lost their defining features. But anyway, just to we've still got time for just one last short segment, which it will make you somewhat kind of squeamish. But yeah, that's pretty much that for Disney and Star Wars. So here's the last bit. Animal rights activist urges people to let mosquitoes drink their blood.
Wow. Yeah, it's really fun getting Zika.
As I mentioned, Jolt, before
Yeah.
before the stream, I actually know a person who legit feels sorry when he kills a mosquito.
Ah, soy boy confirmed. Soy boy confirmed. These are things you kill on sight because they're. It's like, well, I'm sorry, not sorry for saying that because you kind of have to because they're a menace.
Well,
And
yeah, I mean there's like millions of them in the air, and
Isn't it true that mosquitoes have killed more humans in all of history than all the wars we've ever fought
yes,
combined ever?
yes.
Yeah, about that. Let's just let them live. Oh, you want to drink my blood and possibly give me malaria? That's alright. Have fun.
oh, I can learn something. I can be enriched by mosquitoes because they aren't people. They don't know how to kill. They don't know how to gruesomely murder.
Wow, animal rights activists. What?
They should probably do, if they want to really help insects, then the one insect they should focus on are bees.
Yeah,
These
yeah, because
bees are necessary for
Yeah.
the nature. Mosquitoes are, well, I mean,
they're basically spider food.
yeah, they're spider food, and they're also probably food for other animals that eat insects, like bats.
Yeah, lizards, frogs.
Oh, get this though. The activist says, killing mosquitoes is embarrassing for anti-speciesists who realize they nourish their children.
Dude, I just got like an
What?
idea. I just got like an idea. Remember when animal rights activists accused Obama when he killed a fly on camera? You remember that? It was like in 2011 or something when Obama was giving an interview, and then like a fly landed on his lap or something, and then he killed the fly with his hands, and and he got a lot of shit from animal rights activists. Do you remember
I
that?
mean, this is like I I don't necessarily recall that. I mean, jeez, but this is a different level of dumb. Like, if you want to save animals, you know what, and be all virtuous, go show some pictures of polar bears clinging to a melting iceberg. But don't be saying that killing mosquitoes is a bad thing.
Well,
Oh my
You
god.
know, I and these are the type of activists that basically will defend the animal if they literally, gruesomely murder a human.
I know. Yeah, polar bears are not a good thing to be saving. They actively hunt people. Oh my god. But then again, mosquitoes also actively hunt people too, if that's how you want to think about it.
the difference is polar bears are limited in numbers, while mosquitoes there are billions and billions of them. It's quite hard to actually uh, make an insect go extinct because they're so easily adaptable. I mean, the cockroaches and nuclear war and all that, but
Yeah.
it's like with something like polar bear and mammals. Polar bears can easily die off once if their entire environment goes out. Like, so if all the ice caps melt and stuff, they won't be able to they won't be able to survive in the new environment, and yet they will actually go extinct.
Mm.
Also, mosquitoes kill people, and you know how they do that?
Yeah,
By drinking your blood.
yeah.
What the heck?
Meanwhile, polar bears are actually like they they don't represent a threat to humanity because they live in their own, like, southern pole where nobody lives there.
Only researchers do, but again, that's besides the point.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Bashagash, you were saying earlier that you don't have mosquitoes where you live. But if the climate gets warmer,
He
then
probably has
mosquitoes might
something
be
worse.
there. I don't know.
He has the luck of the Irish.
he
All
might
right.
he might have cockroaches. Who knows?
But hey, if you do, I mean, at least put some priority into saving the animals that really, really, really matter to this world.
Hey, I mean, Jolt, you said in Australia that the bunnies are like mosquitoes there.
Well, they're an invasive species, and farmers have had problems dealing with them.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, plus all the bunnies in Australia are also poisonous.
Are they? Oh wait, that's just
I
Australia.
mean, it's Australia, my dude.
Yeah, why not?
Oh yeah, flying spiders and all that.
Oh god.
Oh, flying spiders, yeah.
I mean, here's another kind of tragic comment I didn't really want to read, but Vox Cutter Husky says mosquitoes killed my great great grandfather in the Spanish American War.
Is it actually
Oh,
true,
damn.
or is it actually true, or?
Is it true? I can't really verifiably
But
prove
it, but
it.
if it's true, then that's actually not a surprise because,
No.
as I said, mosquitoes do bring malaria and other sort of diseases, and I mean, probably like malaria wasn't really um, was a problem being
At the time,
Cu-
perhaps.
yeah.
But well, look at
Oh,
what's been
right.
going on in South
Oh,
America in the past few years. I mean,
Actually,
the whole Zika virus thing.
I
all
think
right.
Zika
Yeah.
virus only. I think Zika virus is not as deadly as malaria, but it does affect pregnant women.
Yeah,
Because,
that's another thing of its own, definitely. Voxer says caught malaria in the Philippines. Yeah,
Oh,
with weather like that, yeah,
damn.
with tropical climates like that, yeah.
So, I guess you should
but
have
the good
killed the
thing is
mosquito.
malaria is curable today thanks to modern medicine.
In some parts of the world, yeah, but a lot of people are still dying from it in places like Africa,
Mm.
Southeast Asia. Yeah, it's not good. Yellow
Yeah.
fever is a big one.
I mean,
But
this is
hey,
like people being sorry if you kill a cockroach. Like,
I mean, you know,
You got to be like super Canadian to feel like that.
it's like, why would you be sorry if you're killing cockroaches? Are disgusting.
actually, you have to
Kill them.
ingest even more soy. But these types of people who feel sorry for doing that would also, at the same token, advocate for people to drink cockroach milk.
No, you know the only people who would be insulted about killing the mosquitoes were people who have mosquito sona.
Well, insect
Oh,
owners are very, very, very rare. Uncle Kage, on the other hand,
oh yeah.
is a total bug man.
Does he have a cockroach sona or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
he's a total bug man.
So does he get offended if I kill a cockroach?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know.
You could,
Maybe.
I mean, he's definitely you might have seen him answer the question, but but this is why insects are literally the bottom of the barrel in the furry community when it comes to being represented in personas.
I haven't seen too many. No, I did see a spider sona when I was at Anthrocon, and that was really cool because they basically had two other arms like underneath their real arms attached by like a string. So whenever they lifted their arm, like the other arm lifted with it. It just looked really surreal and kind of cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
with spiders, I have no problem with it. Spiders are cool, but when it comes to flies, cockroaches, wasps, that I just like kill them on sight.
Oh, no, not wasps.
Wasps,
Oh yeah. I
they
have
can
seen
hurt.
wasp sonas.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
yeah.
those can hurt. But in a sense, though, no fondness for insects, so that's pretty much where we're at.
Well, of course. I mean, Foxler pretty much does not like any other sona except wolf
Canine types. Well,
canine
canine
type.
types.
Yeah, canine types. Doesn't even like feline sonas.
No,
Hmm.
cats are pretty alright though. He just won't, he just won't yiff with you if you have like a non-canine sona.
Everyone has their preferences, I suppose.
It's eccentric, but yeah. I know he might. Oh god, I don't know where I want to go with this, but that's kind of where we're at though. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we shouldn't, expand on
yeah, it
this.
is. Yeah, it is pretty much what we've got for time. So that's pretty much kind of wrapping it up though. I mean,
Okay.
hey, we did what we could with this time cycle, but I hope this performance in the stream is pretty much a lot better than what's happened last week. So yeah, please shoot us a line if you've got any kind of if you think the live service wasn't up to snuff or anything. We'll see. We're adapting, but so far I'm quite happy with StreamYard, so all is well.
Yeah, it's definitely an improvement from last week when we tried using Discord, and that was well, not optimal.
I
I'll
know,
just say
I
that.
know. It had a lot of performance glitches on my end, but at least now this works and everybody's moving. So you know what? Might be a new home for some time.
Yay!
So in that said, guys, have you got any closing statements, one at a time?
Um, no, not really.
Perplexing.
It happens though. But how about you, Avira?
Well, I wish there was more like diverse news going on this week.
It
The gaming stuff
happens.
was definitely interesting, yeah.
It
But
happens. It happens. But
yeah.
like, you just gotta. I mean, one or two people can only do so much, and our lives does not revolve around scouring news.
Well, yeah, I suppose. But yeah, no, this week was pretty fun.
Yeah, and I think
Um,
so far our listeners have basically said that everything went smoothly. So you know
that's
what?
great. Yeah.
We'll make this our new home.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to our various rambles, and we look forward to continuing on forward for the next foreseeable future.
Indeed, yeah, we've got a few things coming up on the cards, but we also we bring this to you as much as we can. So hope we didn't
All
disappoint. Anyway.
all right.
Yeah, and of course, our shows are going nowhere. We are still, even though Google Hangouts is no more, we are still able to publish to YouTube, as you see, and then we'll look for more places to publish. And of course, the audio versions on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play Store will always stand there. This is us signing out for the week. Farewell,
Oh
and
wait,
until next time. What?
Fashagash, did you have anything else to say?
I don't know if he's here or not. I haven't heard from him since.
Okay
But
then.
well, that's that then. Farewell.
All right.
Yep.